This is the Serviceman Business version 12 labor invoice. This is the screen where on the schedule, when you're adding information into labor and materials, that information is translated and then put over here for you, including the client for that particular work order and the information that was supported by billing from the labor and materials will show up on this screen, showing you the current balance if it's paid or not paid. It'll also show you the summary total for both the labor, the tax for the labor, the total material cost, and the tax for the materials that you put into the schedule for labor and materials. When you picked the client over on the work order, that information was added and brought over to this screen. Now, on this application, there is a labor invoice and a material invoice, two separate ones. There are 24 lines in each, so this should support quite a few different text things that you want to do as far as tasks. So if you added another tasks to this listing over on the schedule, you have 24 lines for labor and 20 for material. And then at the bottom, there's an area where you have a place for notes about the labor and another one separate for the labor materials that you can add an extra note for there where you want to identify things that the client should know on the invoice. At the very top of the screen where it says your business data, you would enter your business name, maybe your telephone number and your location, and if you have enough space to go ahead and put in also your email at the top of this line. It just depends on how large your company name is and how much space that will take. And you just basically click in there and edit this part out and then put in your information. This is what is called a global field. So once you enter this, on all future invoices that you look at, that information will be sent to that particular field. So for example, at a later date, if you change the telephone number, you could edit it and now it update the telephone number on every invoice all the way through your system. So that's a typical thing that you would want to do on the global field, okay? And this is the only place that you add and edit the information for your business is on these. Over on this side, you'll see the video help button. And again, like in the past, you have add a new record. Now, in this case, you do not add new records for invoices in this screen. You would use the find, perform find, to go ahead and locate information on this screen. Now, be aware, you cannot do finds in the portal records. So any information you're looking at as far as doing a find would have to be taken from the fixed record fields at the top of the screen. Typically, if you're in the schedule and you click to go to an invoice, it's going to be for the client that you're working with. So if you go to the invoice for labor, it'll show that one. If you go to the invoice from the schedule, it'll show the material. Okay, you can go next and previous. You can view the next records and go backwards and forwards between them. So it makes it simple to find them that way also. If you needed to, you can go to the main menu to change screens to another location if you want to. And also where it says server menu, that is where you hide or show the menus at the top and bottom of the screen. And if you're on the browser and you're using the browser and you edit this screen in any way, you would have to submit those records to be updated. And it would be any information at all in any one of the fields. If you modify it here and then you update it, you would have to submit it on the server. Now on FM Go or the iPad in general, you would not have to do the submit and cancel record. Submit meaning save my changes, cancel meaning don't save those changes, I don't want to use those. So be aware of that. Now to return back to the schedule, use the button up here to the right of the invoice and you'll see the schedule invoice, in this case work order number 2, that will come back up on the screen again. And then you can easily come back here if you want to from the schedule menu or the schedule input screen. If you have questions or you're not fully understanding this, you can review this again, or if you still have questions, contact us through the support icon on the main menu screen. Thank you.